Good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon. How are you? How are you all feeling? Great. Are you all ready to rock with me? Yes, awesome. Okay, this is my fourth time to America, so it's really a beautiful place. I got a holiday home in Malaysia in a place called Cameron Highlands that has the same exact weather like this. So if any of y'all comes to Malaysia, just give me a buzz, okay? All right.
Gary, excuse me. I said you asked them to give you a bus. They cannot afford to buy a bus.
Oh, okay. A bus.
Even a jeepney or a car. He might give you
All right. So okay. Anyway, it's been always a pleasure to be in America, getting to share with you guys about some of the things that's happening in Asia. How many of y'all have teams or have businesses in Asia? Any one of y'all?
Yes.
Right. So in Asia is a bit different. Culture is different, but more important, the way that how I see building in Agic in that part of the world is unlike in America, in Asia, especially the latest group that I'm building is in Cambodia. How many of y'all have been to Cambodia? The average income of Cambodian people are $150 a month. So can you imagine trying to even, before I forget, there's no office, Enagic office in Cambodia. So you have to buy cash, C-A-S-H, cash, no easy payment. So can you imagine what happens when you put even a JR2 in front of them, okay? So, but the different thing about the people in Asia is because they are not just working for today. They are also working for their children. And I can see a lot of Filipinos, mabuhay, mabuhay. I consider myself half Filipino. Yeah, because I've got about 60% of the Filipino market in the Philippines, and that's also thanks to Cynthia, because one day she emailed me. I'm sure some of you all heard the story. She emailed me. I saw her email. She invited me to go to Philippines. She's doing a presentation there, and she says if you got anybody in the Philippines, send them there. I'll help you to close the sale. I asked my wife anyway. That's my lovely, beautiful wife, Lily. So I asked my wife, have she been to the Philippines? She said no. I said I've not been there either. So we went there, invited about 8 people. None of them showed up. One guy called John.
JC?
You know JC? Yeah. Awesome. So John, initially, many years later, he told me, whispered in my ear, he said, Gary, actually, I didn't want to go either. Because the wife told him, this guy came all the way from Malaysia, he's trying to sell you something. So many years later, when he's a 6822, 2-2, he told me, actually, Gary, that meeting, I didn't want to go. So, but anyway, he came. Cut the long story short, just from one guy, John Lim, today I've got about 18,000 machines from the Philippines alone. Thank you, God. Y'all believe in God? Yes. I believe everything happens for a reason. All is a perfect arrangement of the Almighty. Imagine if Cynthia sent me the email, I didn't open it. I opened the email, I don't feel like going. I wanted to go, but my wife said, sorry, we've got a birthday party coming up. I went there, 8 people come, but not John. And if John comes, he didn't sign up. If he signed up, he didn't do the business. If he did the business, the leaders don't move. Nothing of these results will have happened to me. So again, I'd like to give thanks to the Almighty. Let's give God a big round of applause. Okay, anyway, coming back to business. I see a lot of new faces, so maybe some of y'all don't know me. I'll just take 2 minutes to introduce myself. The guy that you are that's standing in front of you, talking to you, highly successful in Enagic, is a high school graduate. Okay, I've never been to college. Don't know what's life in college or university. I started work at the age of 19 as a cashier in a pharmacy in Malaysia, taking home a pay of $450 a month. No, sorry, it's 450 ringgit, so it's about 80, 85 US dollars a month. Yeah. So that's where's David? Where's David? David, my idol. David, my fan. Yeah. Because I told David that day we had dinner in Spaghetti Factory. I told him this bill is 167 US dollar in San Diego. That same meal will be 167 ringgit. So you're just paying $42 for that same meal in Malaysia. So all come over to Malaysia, all right? Okay. Anyway, so coming at a very young age, starting my life in a world, I didn't want to burden my family because I came from a very, very average family. My late mother was a secretary. My late father was a building supervisor. And I didn't want my family to suffer just financially just to put me through higher education. And I always ask myself this question because the country that I grew up in, Malaysia, is a place where a lot of immigrant, especially from China, virtually like my forefathers, okay? I'm a third generation Chinese, so my grandfather came from China. And I saw many of these super wealthy in Malaysia and no education. You know, like, I'm not sure if you heard of a resort in one of the richest men in Malaysia was Mr. Lim. At that point of time, he passed away. But he has got no education. He just signed a star, you know, when somebody asked him to sign his signature. And there are many also stories like this of people that did not get high education, but they make it in life. So when I was growing up, I've always looked at all these people and I said, my teacher always asked me to go to school, study hard. A lot of my elders also asked that. But when I look at their life, they were good people, nice people, but they were not doing well in life.
No freedom.
Yeah, no freedom, exactly. And I told myself, if I were to follow what they told me, I'll probably end up like one of these people.
Yes.
And that's not the place I want to be. And one role model I saw was my uncle, which is my mother's youngest brother. And he was working in the government in Malaysia for 45 years, 11 months, and going nowhere, earning very little, nothing. But when he ventured into network marketing, his whole life changed. He is 74 years old this year. Average income is about $1 million. Wow. Since he started in 1989. So, but it's not just the money. I'm sure you can make $1 million in a lot of places. If you are a CEO of some multinational, you can make $1 million. But I love his lifestyle. And I love the fact that everywhere he goes, he got people coming to him, thanking him of what he has done directly and indirectly to people's lives. That's the, I call it, this is the term I call it the great life. That's the life I want. Is that the life you all wanted to? Yes. So I told myself, I said, if I'm going to go where the 95% of people are going, I'll probably end up like this. So I saw my uncle and I told my uncle, one fine day, thank God again, my life changed when I wanted to go to Japan because at the age of 17, my first country out of Malaysia is Japan. So I went there for a youth exchange program. I fell in love with the country. I like the culture. So coincident now we are also in a Japanese company. Right. Probably my previous life I'm a Katsumoto. Okay. So anyway, so my uncle told me, he says, Gary, one fine day he gave me a call. He says, Gary, tell me, you have just finished your high school. What do you really, what are your plans now? I said, well, I'm going to Japan. Oh, go to Japan. Do what? Further my studies. Oh, further your studies. Then after that, what do you want to do? I said, well, get a job. He says, Gary, tell me the truth. What do you really want in life? And I told him, I said, I want to be a successful multi-millionaire just like you, uncle. And he told me this. He says, Gary, based on my experience, since I'm very successful today, there are few ways that you can be very successful, but one of the easiest, fastest, and most effective way to be successful in life is to follow a successful person.
Yes.
And at that point of time, he asked me, do you know this person, Mr. Lim, the owner of that, one of the richest men in Malaysia? I said, no. Do you know Dr. Mahathir? At that time, he was our prime minister. Today, he's still our prime minister at age of 98. And yeah, I'm sure you heard of Dr. Mahathir, right? Yeah, and then he said another Mr. Tan, which is another very rich tycoon in Malaysia. And I said, no, I don't know all these people. He says, yes, you know one. I said, yeah, the only person I know who is successful is you, uncle. And he told me, he says, okay, Gary, if you really, really want to be as successful as me, my suggestion, forget about Japan, pack your bags, come and stay with me. I'm very thankful he opened his arms to me that fateful day. I think I was about 19 years old. And that's all I did. I packed my bags, I went and stayed with him. And cut the long story short, he didn't actually give me money. I have to pay rent for his room. And clean his house as well. But what he told me is, he taught me about how to be a successful person here. A lot of mindset changes, and he taught me how to be a leader. And that's the reason why sometimes if some of y'all follow me on my Facebook, you notice I've got one quote that I say, if you want to make some money in your network marketing business, sell the product. He was in a supplement company, so his products are in vitamins and soap powders and all that. But our product is what's our product? It's a Kangen machine, right? The ionizer, right? So he says that if you want to make some money in your network marketing company, sell the product. But if you want to conquer the world, build people and build the network.
Amen.
And from then on, every time I go into any network marketing, Enagic is not my first, just to let you know. I became 6A in 4 months. Yeah, thank you. And although I'm not the fastest now, because the Vietnamese, I don't know, they created a Vietnam rocket. So they just...
They did.
But anyway, everybody, we are in the land of the free, right? America, land of the free. So if they have a rocket, you can put a supersonic jet. Okay, so anyway, I became a 6'8", 3-5 in slightly over than 7.5 years. Okay, from a fast point of view, it's not that fast. But if some of y'all get to see my journey, if you journeyed along with me 8 years until today, you get to enjoy, come and see my lifestyle. I've got one of the most amazing lifestyle in the world. David follows me on Facebook, and you know, every now and then you see on a weekday where a lot of people are getting caught in traffic jams. I'm biking in my holiday home up in Cameron Highlands. But what I'm trying to say is that one thing that I learned, again, I want to say that there's no right and wrong in doing something, all right? So there is no right and wrong. What works for you is good. But my question to y'all, today, I'm not sure, through the 2 days of convention, you want to reflect on something. If you like your results today, continue what you are doing. Am I right? Yeah. But if you don't like your results, if something is not working, if people are just flying past you so fast, I mean, Vietnamese, they don't even speak proper English, right? Have you ever asked the question, how? You know? Yes. Why not think of why these things are happening, right? So, I realized that, and my uncle told me this, he says, Gary, the product in every network marketing is good, but it's also a double-edged sword. Do you all agree that we have a very fantastic water machine called Kangen machine? Yeah, it's fantastic. It's the best in the world. It's the most amazing things that I've ever seen before. But then again, it could be your double-edged sword. Because why? People are so into the product, they forgot there is a second product. What's the second product? This is the second product. Lifestyle. Right. And I've been telling everybody, I wake up in the morning, there's $1,000, $2,000 next to my bedside every single day. Why nobody's talking about that? I don't know. Maybe in America, people are all rich, right? Where I come from, okay, Malaysia is much better now. Seriously, don't get the wrong impression. We don't live in the trees anymore. You come to Malaysia, certain parts looks really like New York and Singapore, but there are certain places. Better. Yeah, but there are certain places like if you were to come with me to Cambodia, seriously, you drive a white car in and a yellow car out because they are so dusty, pollution, dirt everywhere, and you still see people on the streets and things like that. So what I'm trying to say is, now if we just sell a machine, is good. If we sell a product, is good, because then again, don't forget the 8-point pays very well, right? Yeah. Wow, some people tells me, Gary, you know what? I just need to do 2 machines a month. I'm comfortable, especially if you're 5A, 6A and above. But then again, I come back to a concept, what I call as a great life. How many people want a great life, which means you don't really need to worry about selling? Of course, we have the passion to share. If somebody buys a machine, we touch somebody's life, it's great. But what if you can just wake up? I'm very sure if you ask Cynthia, if you don't, frankly speaking, if you don't sell for 6 months, would you still make a lot of money? No?
In what? In what way?
In Enagic.
Yeah.
Would you still?
If I don't.
If you don't sell any machines, it's
Let's say for example, for touch wood. Let's say for a certain reason, health reason, you cannot open your mouth anymore.
And then I'm a 6A 2-3.
Like where you are now, where you are now.
Of course.
What I'm trying to say is,
But you want more?
Yeah, exactly. Yes, that's what she's saying. You want more? Yes, but if you can build a network, this is the key. That's why it's all about people. And when I heard about this concept from my uncle many years ago, then I realized that. So when I started in Enagic 8 years ago, I told myself, apart from moving the sales, before I moved the sales, I would start building a team. And that's where I formed my Kangen Power team 8 years ago. And because I know if it's just dependent, my whole business is dependent on me. What if tomorrow I cannot talk anymore? My arms are not working or my legs. Then it's no different than you're opening a restaurant. How many of y'all have opened restaurants before? I'm sure you know, right? So if you don't open the restaurant, it's game over, 0.
Yeah.
Or if you are...
You know what's the name of that guy that got an accident in Singapore?
Raymond. Raymond.
Look.
Raymond? They don't know who is Raymond, right? Raymond is a Dash 4, right?
Dash 4.
Yeah. Raymond's son, and I think he got that accident.
No insurance, nothing.
0.
Zero. No, in Enagic.
No, I mean zero outside of
Yeah,
Enagic, nothing.
Yeah, but the thing
For
is,
so many years, he's bedridden.
yeah.
Now the whole family is taken care of by Enagic.
Yes.
By Enagic.
Thank you.
Yeah, and the key here is not just Enagic, but because he has a strong network. You saw that guy, John Lim just now, the guy in the green shirt. Yeah. Oh, he went to outlet, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, so in Asia, the way that I'm building it is slightly a bit different. So you know that everything you need to have a compelling story, right? A story. So especially in the Philippines, we have a lot of we call it OFW.
Yeah.
I'm sure the Filipinos what I know what I'm trying to say is overseas Filipino worker. And that's the cool thing is when you get the Filipinos, you actually get a global market, just like Cynthia. So I'm so happy with my Filipino team. I've got groups in Chicago, Chicago, Texas. Now I've got a group in Norway, New Zealand, Sweden, yeah, Milan, yeah, Italy, you know. So now the thing is, some people ask me, Gary, how do you get all these people in your team? And I told them this is, sometimes it's about perceived value. I don't know about you guys in America, but in Malaysia, if you put a, let's say a K8, how much is a K8 in 4,908? So it's about 5,000, right? So let's say in Asia, or let's say in Cambodia, you were to put a 5,000 product in front, there are many more priority than buying that. Of course, yes, they see the demo is good, the water, the people recovering from this and that, they like it. But then again, they have a lot more other priority than buying the water machine, right? Yep. But when you put something more than that, for example, freedom. I did one training in Cambodia as well as in Philippines. Okay, I did one training in the Philippines, and it was in the Taguig office in BGC. And I told one lady that sitting in front, I said, ma'am, can you come here? So she came. I said, ma'am, do you have 1,000 peso? How much is that in ringgit? 1,000 in US dollar? 1,000 peso?
1,055.
$55.
No, 55 pesos.
No, 1,000 peso? $20. Okay. So $20. Can you actually get a meal for $20 in America? Yeah. A person? Can you actually get a meal? I don't know. McDonald's? Okay, maybe you eat in McDonald's. Anyway, 1,000 peso in the Philippines is good. You can have a meal, right? For 1,000 peso.
You can feed like 15 people.
Yeah, 15 people. Yeah. And very obviously, I saw this lady, she's not like she's rich. You know, you can see the dressing. I said, ma'am, do you have 1,000 peso in your purse? And she says, she's like very reluctant, you know. Yes. And I say, can you bring out your 1,000 peso? And she very reluctantly gave me, you know. So I took out that 1,000 peso and I said, ma'am, I'm going to do something. You'll probably hate me for life. She said, what you're going to, and before she's going to say, well, I tore that 1,000 peso. I tore it into half, you know. I tore that 1,000 peso into half. She's like, she don't know when to shout at me or cry or you know. But I tore that to half. Then I said, I tore that to half and I said, ma'am, I gave her back the half of that. I said, ma'am, how much is this? She says 500 peso. Because 1,000 you tell to two is 500, right? She says 500. I said, no, ma'am, that's just a piece of paper. Right? Correct? Now, I'm not sure about other races, but I know the Filipinos has one of the most
compassionate.
Yes.
Patience.
And the reason why they work so hard overseas is to provide for their families back home. Am I right?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's why they are called overseas Filipino worker. And some of these people, especially like I see a lot of Facebook in the Middle East, they are being so badly mistreated. Am I right, Cynthia? They are treated worse than a human. And for what? For this thing that is 2 pieces of paper, when you tear it, there's no value. And I said, now, you ask yourself this question. How much more do you want to do this to yourself? How much more do you want to create this for your life? Or if you are not, your family members, you know? So why not let Enagic be that platform to bring freedom to our life?
Yeah, that's true.
Okay? So that's another way of talking about Enagic. Enagic can be in many ways, right? Because it's change your water, change your life, not change your water, change your health only. It's life. And because of that, I'm so happy that the Norway group, my wife recorded it, all of them cried. Because some of them has been away from their families for the last 20 years. Can you all imagine being away for your family for even 1 year?
Yeah.
Celebrating Christmas alone? I see some advert and packing your own Christmas present alone, not being with your family. Now, how much is that in value that is worth to you? It's priceless. 5,000, even if you don't have the money, you will look for it. And I always tell people, I said, if you can give them a very compelling reason, they will die for the cause. Am I right? Because it's no more just for money. It's not just for money, it's for freedom. And for certain reason, as I like to always say, I'm in a way quite indebted to the Filipino people because just because of one email from Cynthia, today I've got quite a big network in the Philippines and all over the world. I'm so thankful. I wish to fill up that Philippine arena in Manila with all the ex-OFW through this program that we can bring home, just like the current president of the Philippines, President Duterte, he says, let's bring home the OFWs.
Yeah.
Right,
Nice. Nice.
right. So, oh, in Philippines, yeah. I mean, can you imagine, I'm just like a jungle boy. Never even been to Philippines. The first time I went there, most of y'all don't know this airline. It's called Air Asia. Have any one of y'all heard of Air Asia? Yes. Not many, okay, but that's an Asia thing. It's a Malaysian company. I'm so happy. So we took Air Asia. Those days it doesn't fly straight to Manila International Airport. It flies to somewhere else. Like let's say you are supposed to land in LA, it flies into San Jose or Vegas. You know, and I still thought that I'm already in Manila, you know. So I came off, y'all know the Clark, right? Clark Air Base, right? Yeah, so those days Air Asia don't fly to Naya 3. It goes to Clark Air Base.
Oh, wow.
So I walked out of the airport and I still remember Cynthia told me, stay in New World Hotel, Makati. So I booked New World. So I went to the immigration officer, excuse me, sir, where is the New World Hotel? He looked at me like as if I came from planet Mars. No, there's no New World, no New World. So I said, no, my friend from America, she said, stay New World, best in Makati. Oh, Makati, 3 hours from here. Take the bus. That's how we started, zero. So I'm truly very indebted in a way to my friends in the Philippines. Truly, you made my dream come true, me and my family. And the thing that I want to say is, remember this, sometimes as much as we want to build the business, build it through our team. This is what I'm trying to say. That's a saying, you don't build the business, you build your people build the business. You know what I'm trying to say? Yeah. So our action is focused. If you can, of course we can still do leadership by example. We still do. I still share. I still go out there and talk to people, so many people. I still do networking. But more important is, can you imagine you have 10, 20, 50, 100 people just like you doing what you do daily? Can you imagine? So a lot of people don't think about this. Maybe it didn't pass your mind before this. But when I started, this is what I'm thinking. And I told David the same thing. Sometimes it's nice to eat the whole cake. But isn't it better to eat one part of the cake, share the whole part with your friend, and eat forever every day? Yeah. Don't you think so? Yeah. Then everybody has a food, and we can eat every day, you know, without thinking. I mean, just a hypothetical thinking. Listen about this, just hypothetical thinking. Let's say every one of y'all here are -5, let's say. Everyone here, okay? Okay, let's think about it this way. Everyone here is -5. Now, every one of us agree that today I will buy lunch and dinner for everybody.
Yes.
Tomorrow is you.
Yes.
Then the day after is you.
Yes.
Am I right to say every day we eat for free?
Yes.
Yes. Life is just like that. Life is just like that, and we just go out there. Everybody everybody share. We grow, and we conquer the world.
Yes.
All right.
So I'm so happy once again. I hope my little sharing is able to touch your life in one way or the other.
Yes.
Yes. Come again? Oh, my name? Gary. Gary Gan. Yes. Some people call me Gary Gan, Gary Gan, Gary Gan.
What's your title again?
I'm a 6A3-5. Yeah. And obviously, at this point of time, I'd like to thank my team members. Actually, to be very honest, I've told so many people, If you want to use the word luck, I'm very lucky. I've got very amazing team. Cynthia knows about it. Everywhere in the world, somehow they just rock. You know, I'm just so happen to be there to light the fire. That's all. But my team is simply so amazing. They do the things together. When we do our 2 days leadership seminar and 1 day city tour, this program that we do every 3 months once, wow, I'm so blessed in a sense that my role is just put on that wireless mic, get up and just perform like Michael Jackson, you know. And everything is all arranged by my people, from logistics to the whole program, and everything is so nice.
I have a question for you.
Yes, Brian.
Since you're 6A3-5 and you've been in the business for like 7 to 8 years, correct?
Yes.
It sounds like that you may be putting people under people since you don't have a lot of 6A wide.
Okay.
Is that true?
I actually have a lot of, not that I have a lot of direct, to be honest, I mean, confession, I've got about close to 50,000 machines in my organization, but I personally introduced 24.
24 people.
Yes.
Wow.
That's why I want to tell you, I am very lucky, if you want to use the word lucky. I've got an amazing team. But I want to say this also. Now, it may or may not sound logical, but sometimes if you think about it, it's just how I built my business. We want our people to succeed as well, right? Yes. So if my way of building is, let's say if I were to go to the Philippines and I decide to talk to some people there, I'd rather let my leaders handle the sale. Yeah, obviously, it's definitely, if I sponsor them directly under me, I will be more profitable because I get all the 8 points. But maybe it's my choice of lifestyle. I want to have something called freedom. So if I were to start a new line, let's say in the Philippines, am I right to say I again need to go there like every day, and I can't get my downline, which is their cross line, to do the work because, hey, different father, right? So basically what we do is we start a lot of marketing program, but we give it to the local leaders. Yeah.
Oh,
so
nice.
we help the people, but that doesn't mean it's stacking. It's just that
Right.
we do a lot of activities to drive the sale, but they follow up with the sale, and it's very natural that they get most of the profit.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I mean just now by I just want a small slice of the cake, but we eat every day, and every day I get to go mountain biking in my holiday home. If not, my holiday home will be full of dust.
Can you share with us some of the activities that you create to create the business? You said you create activities and
Right,
share the
okay.
business.
So as far as activities are concerned, we are building a team. So that's why, as much as, yes, the online thing is very important, we are living in an online world today, we are also going into online, some of the online lead generation thing. But I feel that if we really want to build a team, we need the people-to-people interaction, right?
Yes.
Right.
I mean, I cannot be always looking at Cynthia at the webinar and hi Cynthia, always on the phone like that. You know.
Right.
There must be some interaction.
Yeah.
So we do a lot of interactions. One of it is our leadership seminar that we run every 3 months once. It's a 2-day event.
Is this in Kuala Lumpur?
Yeah, it's in Kuala Lumpur. Until we decide, to start doing it in different countries.
Do it in LA next time.
Maybe. Yeah, why not? And we do our leadership seminars. We also do our charity program, where we have been doing for the last 72 months now. So we get the people together, buy some things and go to a home. On top of that, we bring people to special events. I'm a great believer of self-development. Do you all believe in self-development?
Yes.
One guy that probably you might want to follow is Eric Worre.
Yeah.
If you, Tony Robbins, Eric Worre, some of these. Yeah, we bring our people to some of these events. I just told Kuniko when she was driving me here just now, I said that sometimes people always thought that becoming successful, like let's say somebody like me or like Cynthia, is just a one press of a button and then the next thing you are successful. Actually, you are not. Success sometimes comes because you became a different person than who you were before, right? So imagine if I didn't improve myself many years ago, today even I have the network, I don't know what to do with them. So we need to keep improving ourselves. A lot of people thought we just need to go to Energic events. Not true, not necessarily true. Energic events are important, but we should also go to other events to improve ourselves. And like the saying goes, knowledge is an ongoing thing, right? You keep learning until the day you die. Right.
Thank
All
you.
right.
Thank you.
So
Thank you.
thank you so much for your time. I wish you all the best. See you at the top. Thank you.
Okay.
Over to you,
Thank you,
Cynthia.
Gary.